Trent told me about you, though. Who? Your camera teacher, or whatever he's called at your school. Says you're a good kid and all. A little bit clueless. I guess that might be fair. I certainly feel like it right now. He guffaws at that and refreshes his cigarette pipeline. Well, at least you admit it. How do you know him? Known each other for ages. Actually helps me meet the missus. Funny how things work out like that. Yeah, that can't hook you up? Wait, he was your wingman? We both share a stupid grin at the low-hanging pun. He always hated when I called him that. I'd given him a lift to some field trip he had to chaperone. Well, I'm always the taxi service for my friends, so it's no skills off my back. Though, I could have taken the bus. As soon as I got there, I met the rest of his co-workers, including my would-be wife. Wait, your wife works at St. Hammond's? Oh, you didn't even know? Yeah, she's school's nurse. Hey, hold up. You're the human kid that got bodied the first day of the year, right? He laughs as I throw a hand up to cover my face. My reputation truly precedes me. He points over to the wedding party, and I see her just as she waves to her husband exuberantly above the crowd. He reciprocates before switching to, "The old prick tricked me into chaperoning too." Oh, wait. Jesus Christ, it is so hard to figure out who's talking in this. "The old prick tricked you into chaperoning too. You could use the time to get to know her better. I'm sure you two will get along famously. Looking back, I think it was a red flag. Green flag? Good omen. Did he vouch for someone like that?" Sounds like Attica can't help but set people on a path of what's good for them. Gotta think personally sometime, if it weren't for him coming to bat. Wait. The groom's narrow features curve into a devious smirk. A devious lick? Oh, what you think of that? Ring a bell? What? No. He wags a finger at me. Oh, you can't pull a bullshit, kid. So you're telling me Attica's still playing the game of love? Not with high schoolers? I found my jaw set like cement as I fervently shook my head. Or another student of his? A classmate, maybe. You're looking too much into it. My jaw unclasped painfully, just enough to say the words through my teeth. Oh, come on. I know you want to talk about girls. So it's good fun. Just humor me between us. Mano a mano. I believe he's just a good friend, is all. Yeah, can just help me out in getting there? Yeah, Olivia. She cute. What am I saying? You know your answer. This bastard's getting a real sadistic kick out of watching me squirm. Look, we got a few more minutes before Brazilla gets her maids or murdered to fight over the bouquet. Follow his gaze, thinking he was joking, but no. One of the bridesmaids is swinging around a chair in preparation for the ensuing melee. Chewbacca melee? Trent can't help you that. He's too subtle. But me? I'm nosy, and I got no shame. You say that again. So this good friend of yours, what's she like? That's complex. Oh? It certainly seemed to have piqued his interest with all the ribbon being just before that. Yeah, we didn't start off on good terms. She was like a feral goblin on wheels that I instantly butted heads with. That's still true, we still butt heads, but like in a bantering way. She's real introverted even with her friends. I mean, so am I, but the author doesn't like that because it means we're both too passive to really engage with each other, and instead of inventing a reason why we would, we just fucking got crowbarred and my character got changed. You know how it goes. But then she'll hit on something she cares about and light up, you know? She'll be happy as she can be doing a painting or artistically recapping some anime. You never know how quiet she can be the rest of the time, make sure. The groom has stopped smoking, cigarette slowly burning to another in his hand. Yeah. It just makes you seek those moments as well. She's just really cool. Got it all out. I think so. I mean, no, I could talk more, but... Shit, kid. You got it bad. What? He removes his ring and waggles it in my face. You want it? You may need it more than I do. I frown at him, and he responds with another peal of laughter. Kidding. Oh, sorta. Honestly, it's pretty obvious to me. You never had a crush? I think back to some long-forgotten girl that I may have tried to woo. As only a first grader can before I got smacked down and my childish love crushed. No. You folks still together? Barely. I don't think I can describe them as loving in any way. Parental or romantic as far as I ever saw. Fuck, the only image of love I have is romance manga and dating VNs. I usually have to look up guides for the latter. No shame, my man, but I have to do it because it makes for better playthroughs. Because otherwise you end up in weird spaces. Tremt Latakan says a devious lick and steals the support beam from the building. No! Iarakan, that's crime. That's criminal neglect and endangerment. Oh, where were we? I guess the answer if they love each other. Sorry, kid, that's a rough hand. He places a hand on my shoulder. Let me share a little anecdote about love, kid. You see my beautiful bride over there? If we had never met, this would have been and this was a happenstance meeting, I'd see her over there, and I just know I love her. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Listen, I think you can build a relationship out of a lot of stuff, but if your requirements for love is I look at someone and my body goes, fucking time, I don't know what to tell you, man. A lot more goes into a relationship than your capacity to stick a penis in there. I assure you. Like, the fuckability of someone's face does not inform you on how much of a bitch they are when you gotta console them, you know? How much energy do you gotta put in to make that work? You don't know! Your penis can't know! I sneer at that. You're getting my usual filter for adult conversation. Bullshit, you didn't say anything like that in your story. Why did you... Mr. Yatakan need to trick you at all, once you saw. Jeez, kid, real literalist, aren't you? Look, my point is you know what you want. However long it may take for you to acknowledge us, when it's there, it's there. I say it's first sight. Players like you might try to rationalize it away. You want some catch-all. Some comforting puff piece that'll give you all the answers, but it ain't my job to convince you it's yours. This is more an Inko thing, if anything. Although I guess Anon might be in the same boat in that particular regard. Fuck. Yep. He flicks his last cigarette to the floor before quickly stomping it out. Break's over. Gotta run. The man gets up with a couple of flourishing passes over his suit, removing a latent dash. Hey, take some good pictures of me, will ya? No more sad sack routine, you're on the clock. He takes off into the crowd, making his way to the bride for the night's climactic conclusion. Wouldn't it be great? Listen, I just feel like there'd be a great moment here. Like, Anon's trying to take it seriously. He's trying to actually get one up on Ben. He's having this talk. And then Olivia texts him. That kind of, like, unintentional, like, oh my god, Olivia, you've already been bothering me all day, and now in the middle of, like, a good conversation, you come out like, god damn. You don't see that when you first see someone, how much they're gonna text you when you want them to shut up already. Just set your phone to mute, Anon. It might be your only answer. Psst. Speak of the Green Devil. Checking the phone, it's actually another message from our group chat. The conversation really catalyzed that I need to figure my shit out. Maybe that can help me. He's known Olivia for a while. Then there's the blue prick snapping shots across the dance hall. Ben. I find it funny because that could also apply to Inko because, you know, he wears blue. And Ben is blue. Are they supposed to kiss? I don't trust his words on anything concerning Olivia, knowing what I do. For some reason, Mia springs to mind. I can barely wrap my head around all the vague shit she was getting at that previous Sunday. But it scratches the back of my mind incessantly. Maybe a bit more perspective from Ben could help somehow? I don't have the time for it, I know that. That doesn't mean I'll lose my chance. This wedding ends tonight, but talking can come sometime later. Besides, I sort of made unspoken promises to the groom whose name I still didn't know. I could look myself in the mirror if I let him down. Oh yeah, Mr. Yatakan too, I guess. Phone put away, and I'm back into the fray. Nice. Framed shots just keep falling into my view as I scan and walk the ballroom. Nerd-ass Ben can keep his rapid-fire snapshots in the same locales. I'm going for the big fish. Couples and families and candid and known shots. At some point, it's like the guests start to catch on, trying to fall into my path further than Ben's. I'm just going to skip this because it's just some cute little padding. Man, my voice is so fucked up. I don't know what to do. I just want to download things. The hell is this? Oh yeah, that map. I just kind of listen. I'm just kind of zoning out here to this music, man. Wah 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 wah. Just my back. Was that a good idea? Maybe we'll never know. What's this? Dude, you can't just fucking... Why doesn't this show anything up? God damn it. I gotta get out. Hold up. I don't think you understand this is important. What is this book of templates? You can tem my plate any day of the week. What does that even mean, Safi? The answer is, I don't know. Okay. Let's just vibe a little bit, you know? Let's just relax. I'm... What is this? These links just don't work. I guess they're old. It's always kind of neat when a website updates and like you just lost it. It's gone now. Oh, that's fascinating. That's an interesting way to do that. The preview has the bookmarks, but not the actual pages. So you know what's in there, name-wise. Ugh, gosh. Doesn't even show up. So you got rid of the one book that I give a shit about? Goddamn. Man, I'm getting tired. That's just the truth, right? Ugh. I get all yawny. I kind of curl up in bed. Get a little sleepy. A little sleepy. Just a little sleepy. Anyway, let's move on. Where were we? Always like helping people develop this pretty fast. We'll get them out by the end of the month. After experiencing the only time I'll be so wanted in my life, I find the lull to reach out back into the venue and get some fresh air. Out back of the venue. Some of the brain knights grab me to get them all lined up. They want me for... Goddamn. That's just cute. Ben seems to be attempting much the same as he excused him away before walking to me. Not to toot my own horn! But no one is clamoring for him as he walks away. It's like, taking a breather, he asks me. I nod as he pushes a glass up before surveying the room. Well, the wedding's almost finished, and the worst of the workload is behind us. That was good. Ben checks his phone before mumbling. That was sheesh. Tell me about it. I feel like my feet are about to fall off. I can imagine. Haven't had to work quite this hard in quite some time. School events pale in comparison. I spy the bride and groom across the room, embraced in one final dance of the night. Even as she slumps forward on him and he keeps himself propped up on his tail. Oh no, is he inspiring the whole Olivia thing? Hey Ben, the breach is silent as he catches his attention. It's a weird question, but how'd you get together with Mia? He rubs the back of his neck. Oh, I don't think gossip is the best idea. You know Eric's thoughts as well as I do. What gossip? You're literally the guy! This is his first-hand witness account. Who's gossiping? Come on, I just ask out of sick curiosity. Oh, really? Forgive me for being candid, but why do you care? This is pretty odd for me to admit. Really? It has to stay between just you and I don't even know if... Anon, please. If it warrants discretion, consider it already buried. Just cut the suspense. A truth for a truth, then. I can't expect nothing for nothing. Something for nothing. So I mumble out as fast as possible. I like Olivia. What was that? Oh, sorry, once more. I like Olivia. Well, of course you do. You've been hanging out with her a lot. You love her, that's the thing. Why is everyone extrapolating literally instantly? Anon, you such a fucking nerd. I jerk mine in a different direction with each word to avoid his gaze. Fantastic, Anon. What a joy to hear, honestly. Well, it were getting along don't, listen, don't use a same kind of manner phrase like that if you can help it in the same chapter, because it implies that Ben and the Otacon have a better relationship than they kind of have according to what we can tell. Like, the Otacon and Ben's relationship is very odd, since we don't get that much detail on it. You know, she could really use the... listen, I should for the confidence, but that's what I wanted to know about you and Mia. No, it isn't really close, but damn it, I don't have any clue what's happening, much less what I'll do. Oh, I haven't thought it that way. I was just as scared, honestly, when I realized. Realized? Why do you care, then? Why do you care if I want to be friends with Olive? Yes, that I loved Olivia. I cringe imperceptibly at the love word. Do I love Olivia? I certainly like her, but what's the difference even? Well, okay, but this is just between us for my part too. Quite honestly, Mermaid, well, just don't have loose lips for both of us, okay? It was the second quarter of freshman year. Hold up, we need a slightly more I guess Nightwalk will work. It was the second quarter of freshman year. Some weeks prior, Olivia and I had a falling out. Details unimportant. Oh, they aren't, but I'll keep my mouth shut. If I recall, Mia hadn't been at the same middle school for the majority of class, so she was an unknown quantity. She wasn't too different back then, albeit less outspoken, brash. She was much more of a wallflower, if you could imagine it. She still had a fair share of disciplinary run-ins, and when I met her one day, I had to pass through the detention class to get some student council paperwork. It was, well, silly to say, but we almost had an instant spark when we saw each other. I don't like how many characters in this story, in this fucking chapter, are like love at first sight. It's Anon and Olivia to an extent. Not necessarily, but the whole, like, hallway thing technically implies it. Even though it's supposed to be the other way around, because, again, demo is non-canon. And there's the bride and groom to an extent, or at least he implies... It's really weird. I personally would have preferred it if it wasn't love at first sight. It was this thing that built up over time, right? Between Ben and Mia. Because they've been around for a while. Whatever they have has been built up more than it was just a spark. Because you don't get this far without a problem or two and having to resolve that. Right? If you can imagine. Okay. Like, not that I have something against, like, instant romance. Don't get me wrong, but... At the very least, it got her to approach me next day during lunch. She was so shy, still let Kichi scold the whole while. I guess I saw her as someone who needed help. In what way? Oh, you know, everyone needs something. I figured she could use a friend to help keep her out of trouble. We hit off soon enough. She had, well, her life at home was tumultuous, to put it lightly. I helped her in her classes where I could. More so by helping her prevent fluke events from tarnishing her records. What'd you get out of it? Doesn't seem to have an answer ready for that one. But do I get out of it? I mean, relationships aren't exactly meant to be viewed as quid pro quo. Well, it's healthier if you do. If you have an extent of, like, giving for something, then you keep in mind that the other person has wants and needs too, and you need to give something. Like, it's not an equivalent exchange, necessarily. It is like communism. Each to their ability, each to their need. But, you can't just... Like, if... It has to be quid pro quo, because otherwise it feels one-sided and abusive, in a way. Yeah, you know? Like, you don't want to call it a business-like term, but it is kind of what it's supposed to be. But if I had one thing to say, one thing she gave me, it was, well, acceptance for who I am. I can't get much more specific. I love how, because we already know the plot, it's... But Mia helped me with the much more troublesome aspects of myself than I care to admit. We still help each other to this day. By getting her out of trouble? He's a bit embarrassed at that. I wouldn't phrase it like that. She's harmless, at least, save for a few outliers where she forgets her strength. Like with you on the first day of school. Yeah, like with me. Lucky me. Lucky me. I think I'm kind of starting to get it. That can be a real steel trap when you have something to guard. That's love. To help your partner when they can't help themselves, even if they don't know it. Isn't that quid pro quo, though? Like, isn't that just an equivalent exchange? Like, I guess it's not, like, literally numerically. But you give because you expect to be given. That's, like, the deal, right? That's right, a lot of relationships fall apart is because the equivalence isn't properly communicated, and so it creates friction, whatever. Does she still help you? His smile falters for a second before quickly replenishing? Without hesitation. I wouldn't be the man I am today without her. Hesitation followed by a random undertone. Something slithers just beneath the surface that Jesus Christ, what is this overwritten bunch of sentences? Anon, just talk English. You're not an art boy. Ben's facade is slipping more and more. Jesus Christ, judgmental assholes, shut up. He's being nice, he's answering your question, and you're being a little shit about it. I thought you were growing. I'm trying not to pry, but I'll fucking judge his ass for it. Jesus. I guess I got what I wanted. Jesus! I like how Anon was all like, I'm growing, I'm a better person. Then he pulls this shit. Ooh. Thanks, Ben. I think that helped me a little bit. So you think on it, definitely. Anon, I'd like to be of assistance. And I wish you the best of luck with Olivia. He smiles relaxed again as I back off from the sore spot. And not to put pressure, but don't overthink it. Don't know I almost did before me. I made the first move. I don't think Olivia will be in your case. That's a disconcerting thought, but probably true. Damn. Back to the event. How are you feeling about your pictures tonight? Mine came out phenomenally. The equipment really does make it a breeze. What about you? Honestly, I feel like I didn't get into the rhythm until about halfway through. You gotta warm up! Even the ones I do have, not really phenomenal by my standards. Oh, I'm sure you did fine. This isn't some art house piece. Capturing the event was all that was asked. Yeah, no, but like it's a wedding. But like there should have been one moment that really stood out and just clicked. As I say this, Jesus, listen. The core idea of this scene, right, is that Inko needed to understand that he can't just be the fucking boring ass, what is... like, this isn't Anon's lesson to learn. Are we gonna copy-paste this? Yeah, he's doing this. Again, this is Inko's thing. Anon is learning a whole separate lesson here. Right? I'll get to that. I have it written down over here. Also, this makes way more sense for Inko, who, again, has a lot more involvement with the camera. And, like, so it being an automatism makes more sense. Whatever. Also, what? Like, it's worth pointing out that I guess, technically speaking, we have established something similar early on with the guy. It's just really weird what we're doing here, right? What we've done in this chapter is so broad in terms of what it's trying to achieve. And it's so, fucking break your chapters up, man. Jesus. One phone door would break the SD. Like, shouldn't Ben have a tighter judgment about the fact that Anon is sneaking up on someone's life just after he talked about stuff where he wants to be private? Like, oh, you might be capturing something they don't want captured, you know? But no, we're not going to draw more parallels. That require Olivia has the capacity to be annoying, and we can't have that. I God, it wasn't for you. Or they're done. Oh, absolutely. Oh, shut up. Jesus Christ, Anna, you've had your moments today. Don't talk like that. Also, 8 hours. Isn't this after school? So, like, they're out, what, 4, 5 p.m.? If they've been up for 8 hours, shouldn't it be, like, 1 a.m.? Assuming everything went, like, I don't know, man. The timing is weird in my head. Anyway, Yadakan's out of his debt. We're just repeating shit. You can just cut this out earlier and make it here. Like, keep the important one, the rest out. Have Yadakan say, like, it looks like you had a good time, etc., etc. The preview scene, which, again... Meeting man asked yet. Give the radish seeds. Oh no, the seeds have been given.
Yeah, a handful of seeds. This calls for a reward. Oh no. Why is Anon at the wedding? Anon's at the wedding because Yatagan asked him to go to the wedding. If you want a deeper narrative analysis, I'm sorry, man. The 7-hour fucking retrospective analysis YouTube essay is coming in next month. It'll be 90% me just yelling real loud. You barely understand me. But luckily for you, the entire script is in the transcript for the YouTube video, so you can just turn on closed captions and you'll have everything in there. Man, I love it when people do that. Those people are the true saints of humanity. Goddamn. Because I have issues understanding people English sometimes a little bit. Oh no, he's a liar. I mean, the reason your first thoughts are... Listen. So, Anon, this doesn't work, right? Why would I jump to that? Well, I know why, but why would be my first thought? Because that's what... You jump to your first thought by definition. Also, Anon, you're a pervert who owns a bunch of fucking hentai. Of course that's where your brain goes. Why is this a mystery to you? Like, my man, you could be holding on to an active vibrator, and it wouldn't be more obvious. Still 10 p.m. And he still has to get home and clean up. Like, they're not done yet. I'm not really making a long essay. The main reason I don't do long essays is partially because I'm not that smart. Partially because I can't edit at all. And I don't do a lot with script writing. Because there's a bone in my body that's absent that's needed for that kind of... I can talk for hours on end, but I can't edit a script for shit, right? These are two separate things. Actually, I have attempted to do it once, and I just forgot about it and never made the video. It was alright. Maybe I can get Como to help me. I say that, and then I'll never do it. That's the magic. We're back at school. Why are you back at school? You had a school day. It's 10 p.m. Democratic Acid Midnight Metro is a chilly one. I have to break out on the... What is it at this rate? Shirt over... He wears long sleeve shirts over short sleeve shirts over long sleeve shirts. There's something there. There's something there! Why are we crowbarring in? What the fuck is going on? Hold up. Sorry for... He was definitely sleeping. Yeah, because it's like, what, 1 a.m., 10 p.m.? It's way late, and they drop you off at school. That feels like a bad... Why can't you just drop Ben at home? You're a teacher! Have some fucking courtesy to your students! They have to go to school! It was wired in an instant. She wasn't a Brachiosaurus for some reason, but I knew it was her! I love those dreams, where it's like, they don't look like them, but I know it's them. You're back in Kansas. So, we'll get to why Inko shouldn't do this in the original game, and it has a lot to do with how Inko functions as a character, how he externalizes his opinions, and why for Anon, it kind of makes sense, but we had the Ben scene? Why are we doubling up? What is this fucking chapter? This chapter feels so weirdly insecure. Like, the writing is a little too overdone. Topically, it's going a little all over. It's really weird. I don't like this chapter much at all. This chapter feels very clumsy. God damn it. No trump card for A-Man. Well, you can buy Trump coin, I've been told. Probably tanked like every other fucking crypto out there, but hey. It can only go up! There's only isn't one, man. Just be yourself. How would you know, Damien? You literally don't recognize that you have a girlfriend for way too long. That's some after school bullshit. Also, it's like you've technically been told the same thing by 3 fucking people today, Anon! What else are friends from giving up sleep for love? It just really doesn't feel like Damien. Damien would drop it or pretend to be stupid. Later, Gator Dater. That's a really good one, actually. This guy himself is clueless to Liz's affections. To get with Olivia? Fuck. The poor choice, Anon. This is like where someone pulls out the sentence mixture and goes like, some cheat code to get with Olivia. Fuck! Fuck! Get with Olivia. Fuck! With Olivia. Seriously, try to get a VN guide for real life. I'm so fucking hopeless. Well, you know, Anon, if we get the mod, we can make one. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? I still don't get what this chapter's actually trying to do, like, mechanically. It's so broad. Anyway, let's look at the comments, because they seemed interesting. Some of the different fucking suckers. I'm getting a little tired of this. Let's do this. This class sucks. Bro, cooked and grilled. Like I said, man, everyone gets the fucking compliments and backpats. But I don't! I never do! God damn it. I'm gonna die and I'm gonna wake up. And God's gonna be there just fucking laughing his ass off. You know, at least I'll be in on the joke at that point. At least I'll be in on the joke at that point. An actual Snoot game antagonist. Color me surprised. Fuck off, man. Don't go there. Don't say it like that. Think it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. What do you mean? Like, I agree with your sentiment, but I would like to hear it from you too. Often when I say that, I don't actually fully get what someone's trying to say. Because I'm a bit of an idiot. Which means I often ask for a clarifying question. And I've learned that it's a hell of a lot better than just pretending, you know. I think it was odd how Lily gained from trying to talk to Ben or Damien and why it couldn't just happen later. I mean, it's about Inko has to find focus and confidence in himself, right? Because if he externalizes his problems, then, you know, that's what fucking Redditors are, right? They go on Reddit and they ask for questions for... That's the point. He needs to trust himself and figure himself out. Realism can go fuck itself. It's a fucking story. The point of literature is to be the better version of reality where things work. More importantly, here we go. So, like, the reason that Anon asking Damien and Ben for questions makes sense, because Anon's an introvert, and he kind of needs to step outside of his comfort zone and learn to be more social. Also, Anon has a very warped worldview. Because, like, Anon, as a person, does not perceive reality as it is, so having him talk to other people to be broken out of that makes sense. Like, you can make that the point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess. Anon both gets all the pictures and focuses on his work, and he gets all the conversations, and that is... Yeah, I guess that's why it feels so wrong, but it's part of the problem. There is more to it. Wait, wasn't the trash collection scene? What the fuck is going on, man? So we have the opening scene with Ben and Mia on the... Jeez, fucking slow down a little, man. Put on the brakes. Like, there's a reason why Inko can't do both. One of the complaints I heard of this fic is that you made Anon retrace Inko's actions too much. This is a step... It's not! You're just doing the same retracing twice! Goddamn. Do I even want to read the comments? Because it really does sound like no one seems to understand what the actual problem, what the elephant in the room is. I don't like this elephant, okay? He's smelly and stinky. Thanks for that shutout. Goddamn. I think I'm getting a little fed up from these comments because a lot of them seem to be blind to the actual problems. You know. Everyone. Listen, I'm just mad that I don't get any pats on the back. Just pretend it's that. Pretend I'm completely wrong, and my only problem is that my own ego isn't getting stroked enough, and you can just leave. You can just call it quits, and you can never come back again. You can sleep soundly knowing that I am wrong, or you can stick around and listen to me thinking that you left the cake on the table, my man. These thunder thighs, these cheeks are not clapping. Sorry, I'm thinking. Who killed Captain Anon? Wait a minute, let's see. Fun fact. Caveman I was opposed to there being an ending 4 in Snoot game at all. The original storyboard, the best ending was slightly different ending 3. They break up instead of Anon going to the military. So it's ending 2? It's AO3, so it's a dick criticism. And if you have actual criticism, they hate you and you get chased away. Where's my dick sucking? That's my problem. I want to tell commenters they're stupid and don't understand what's wrong with my writing. I want them to go, oh, that's so nice, Safi. That's such a great job. Like, you motherfucker, don't you see how that conversation doesn't even work? It'll be the best moment of my life. Oh. Honestly, this entire conversation feels hilarious to me. Like, Snoot game is so old by this point. Like, it's a couple of years old. Caveman has released a whole fucking separate game. Goodbye Volcano High has come out. Like, uh. So how's Encore doing? Because I know Snoot game Encore, how's that coming along? Aren't they, like, shifting engines again? And so they're, like, 18,000 years behind again? Because as much as I don't feel like doing it, I feel like I kind of have to. There's a mandatory obligation to do it. Also, where the fuck's Scary Dave been? If he died, I'm gonna be so mad at him. He will not get off easy if he fucking died. You goddamn hear me? Scary Dave, if you're dead, you're gonna get it. I will find a way to make you get it. My brain sometimes just shuts off and I don't know why. I'm not that smart, I guess. Oh, that's done? How weird. Thought that would be a bit longer of an LP. How sad. Hey, does anyone know, like, a good thing for, what's it called? What's it called? Tabletop Simulator. Just like an object you can put down that's just a fucking map you can resize a little easier. Because I really just need an object that just goes pow. MTG Delirium counter? Fucking Delirium this. Those images from file creating a tile. Might. attention. Oh, that's fascinating. Seffi is now the... No, it's not. But this stream is practically over, and I'm sad and upset, and I want to fucking throw myself off a cliff, so you know how it goes. Daar she blows, dat je mo, whichever way the wind blows. Ran by to a Kadat, and 3 to 4 months later, why? Both times they said it was easier to use. It's cyclical. That's how software development works. You always get tempted by the newest thing. You're like, man, I need this feature. This has this feature. Oh, but I need this feature. Oh, this has this feature. Oh. If I was on that team and I was the manager, I'd be yelling my ass off. I could have been in that one fucking thing as a writer, but I didn't. They still made the right call, in my opinion. Reading comments, that's what I'm doing. Fang quits the band and all of her good endings. I thought that Fang was going to come up. Not a great fan of ending 4 in both games, so Snoot game is much worse in that regard. It's one thing for a golden ending to have all characters' problems resolved by the end is entirely different can of worms when their rights and personal flaws disappear into thin air. But the thing about Snoot game is that the actual ending 4 takes place like several years in the future. They had time to grow and become better people. Because remember, it's 6 months in which Anon kind of fixes a lot of problems. I don't think there's any lying in blackmail seeing Wani and the anything of having black was justified by me trying to. It's never explained in Wani how she finds out. Yeah. Yeah, that whole Wani Fics are too similar to Wani criticisms are valid, also ignoring the fact that Wani is a far more concise game. Like Snoot game not only happens much longer than Wani. Wani happens over 4 months. Yeah, that's true. Snoot over 6 months, but also both characters and set story are much more open-ended than Wani. Like on one hand, it's easy to imagine if Vigorano ends up with Rosa or Stella or some OC, but can you imagine Inko ending up with Lunera or Kiara? Again, making the fictive verge from one. Yeah, that is one thing that I do kind of have to agree with. Is I do like Anon more as a protagonist than I do Inko, because Inko has like a point, and he's a bit boring outside of that point. When it comes to the Verge, a few ideas that come to mind. Anon interrupting Iarakan when he wants to axe the painting because he would want to steal. Yeah, because Anon is like, I want to preserve my painting, so it would make sense that he would try to intervene with that. I could see Anon confessing to Olivia before Iarakan dies, maybe mumbling into that just like in Snoot. A completely different date than in Wani. Imagine them going to some sort of anime con, which would work for the characters, I guess. Iarakan's passing would have a different reaction with Inko. Are Iarakan and Inko even that close like he was with Inko? Was he even closer to Inko all that much? Felt more like a via-via in that to those characters. Second altercation between Olivia and Mia will be vastly different depending on how you play it. If you make it the same as Wani, Mia somewhat like this, I could see Wani going ballistic. Not because he likes her, but because Mia, it's all about how inadequate she feels. And for going a survival instinct for Arch, Chima pointing out that she totally is a problem girl, and that Ben would not forgive her if he knew that she was. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to point out. How would Ben feel about that? We could go to the logical conclusion and have Mia not blackmail Olivia. Thanks to Anon's vigilance, the whole contest rigging didn't pan out, and the painting got removed from the contest already. Meaning that if people knew that it was Olivia who painted it, that wouldn't mean shit. Thanks to Anon, since unlike Inko, he did not even enter that contest legally, meaning that his reputation could not be damaged. Also, Anon doesn't care about his reputation, in that sense. I also feel like I won the art contest never really had a consequence outside of me. Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, true. The art contest was a bit... Again! It's the demo! Snake but Anon is Ulysses can only communicate by like 5 words. The bear, the bull, the machine, the courier, and the divide. Listen. You listen. You don't understand how much I want to write something that goes in the cadence of, say, Disco Elysium, where the protagonist has several intonation voices in their head that they use to rationalize the situation. To me, it feels like a fantastic way to rewrite Call Me Fang, to rewrite Trico as rationalizing the environment and world around him and his abilities to read minds and shit as like other personalities in a way to distance himself from the fact that he's basically committing some non-consensual whack shit. All I'm saying, where's my blowjob? From the comments. Oh, I forgot that this comment streak goes on a while. The 5-year break is oddly written, honestly. Because N4 was written before the bonus episodes. On the bonus episodes, forgot just N4 to adjust N4 for the lower bonus. Wani Gator, but it's actually in real life, and Inko is just schizophrenic. Listen, I personally kind of love, like, I would never write it because I personally am too attached to character design in that way. But I would love a story where it's like it's night in the woods. Everyone is a fucking animal, but it's like, no, they're not. They're just human, and this guy's just fucking weird. They're not a furry. They're just fucking weird about it because it's just funny. And you could tie it into the character, and you're like, oh, that's fucking depressing. How can I ever look at this cute cat the same again? I'm gonna squish the cheeks. It's fine. Bonds. Did you know Bond reached mimetic fame in the Snoot community? Well, it's a good fic I personally find a bit too dramatic, or the fact that it takes too much artistic license when it comes to... What? What kind of line is that? Bonds, the fic, takes too much artistic license when it comes to genetics? What? What? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. What? I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm gonna move on. Wrong. The only thing Strish reflected was do double based out or visage being open to persona. Never explained properly why Fang abandons her musical career by NE4. I think this is why Olivia in the epilogue makes and sells paintings, as a direct result of people complaining that Fang abandoned music in Ending 4. Well, the actual problem with Ending 4 right now is that the AI art has replaced all this in the corporate sphere, so, like, Olivia's out of a job. She's going to be drawing furry dicks for the rest of her life, and nothing you can do about that. On the plus side, furry dicks do pay better per work hour. Bonds is regarded to be the best fic ever made for Snoot. I don't know, haven't read it. Shall I put it on the table? Because I'm tempted. Mostly because it'll be a great way to commit suicide. I don't know what. Here we go. I think I found it. Bonds. It's only 1800,000 words, which is 180,000 words. Oh, I'm wrong. There are 2 chapters. There's an extra. Okay, so it's 200,000 words. What a concept! Do I wanna? For the biggest fic around, it's still small to something that I think's probably re-upload. Well, the community wasn't as big. Who knows? Listen, if you're not gonna give me $50 for the trouble, I'm not gonna do it. You have no leverage. And it's so weird to see it's the best, it's the greatest fic ever. And it's like 10 comments on the opening chapter. What a big fucking chapter. Woof. How strange. Just feels weird to me. Maybe I should finish Cell's weird antics. It'll be a nice palate cleanser. I mean, this stream hasn't gone on for that long either. Hey, how about you tell me what chapter we were in, and I'll take a break, and we'll finish it up after I'm done reading the comments at least. I'll go read the comments, then I'll go get a potty break, or a bio break as people call it nowadays. Fuck off, man. I'm going to go to the bathroom and take a piss. YouTube can fuck itself. I will never fall that way. I don't want to. I don't care. This isn't my job. I don't get paid. What do I have to lose? What do I have to gain? She's developed PTSD since without a past. That's sure okay. People forget Lucy's single most important character trait. She's extremely weak-willed to a pathological degree. Fixed end 4. And it's going to college and another comes. I mean, nothing to something, something to nothing, or whatever. Like we we live in the modern age, but we can't make a fucking phone call. God damn. Jesus Christ, these people are having a fun argument. Look at this argument. I read it yesterday. It's quite good, but once again, it's one of those cases of Fang being extremely glamorized. Hold up. Broken Wings is kind of bad. An E2 Kofic, which goes from E2 to E plus within 3 chapters, and it's like 20. I think someone already mentioned Broken Wings. I think it's in my to read list. Let me pull it up. I can't focus, and I still have to pee. I'm not very good at my job. I'm not very good at my job. I'm not very good at my job. So shoot off my dick. Ah! I got shot in the PP. Got shot in the PP. I got shot in the PP. That was a bad idea. Oh, here we go. Broken Wings is on my to read list. Actually, after Punch Drunk Gator was technically the next one in line. I think this is my latest to read list. It's 2 months old. I think this is the one. Why the fuck did I start to do I Want to Kiss that then? Oh, because I did a vote. And everyone was like, this is that one. And after that, we got Tori Game, which has an Inko I don't like. It's 80,000 words. It's a hell of a lot better than usual. Okay, but I'm gonna go with it. May was way too easily. Each time she was an issue in Wani, I definitely think that it worked. Is that it? So, you know what's really weird about this, right? Is this guy's writing an entire fic about putting Anon in Wani, and like he doesn't like Wani? It's so goofy. And he's like quoting the shit verbatim. He's like, my man. Ah, this empty Emmy knows my favorite line. And has a much stronger personality than Inko. Inko has a personality. It's just too specific. Inko sometimes has kind of that's his point. He's a little lapdog. Like when he sees Olivia being harassed by three girls, hearing all the insults, and he says, "Is this bullying?" Yeah, because he's a big fucking clueless clown, and it's adorable. Because Inko lives in a fantasy land. He watches the whole exchange. So, like, I've had three ideas in my head right now that I kind of want to write, but I'm kind of annoyed that I write mostly about Anon, and I'm not giving my OCs any room to breathe, and I want to write about them too. So I got one with Anon and Olivia. I got one with Anon and Mia. Then I got a thing for Olivia because I kind of want to do something with her and goodbye Volcano High because I once did that for I think for something I had that planned, but I never got around to it. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm just kind of muddling with things in my brain as it goes. As it goes. Forgot what I was gonna say. Like I said, we'll get to the. There's Bloodstained Blizzard. It's Snoot game, but D transferred to Volcano High. Snoot game is happening, but D what? What? Tough feeling when you're restoring something and never feel the same. Aww. Got my hands on a Project Smith and Wesson 1917 a few years back. Light of an old mentor of mine who taught me how to shoot one and they're replacing the barrel cylinder and changing the bucket. They never feel the same as it did. Shame I had to sell to pay the bills. What is love? So yeah, that's that. I think I'm gonna go. And as I said, I'm gonna go to the party. And we're just gonna finish Cell's weird trip. How about that? How about that?